Hello, good morning and welcome to Tokyo. It's actually currently raining in Tokyo right now, but hi, we spent 31 hours. No, it's not supposed to take that long. 31 hours yesterday. Well, technically yesterday's yesterday. Technically it took us 2 days. My body clock is so confused, but hello, it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo. We are so freaking excited to be here. My skin, on the other hand, is not best pleased after spending that long on a plane. But I'm sure this trip is going to be worth every second of that hellish journey. Basically, we flew from London to Shanghai with Air China. Basically, the BA flight was a grand more expensive, even though it was direct. So we were like, I'd rather take the worst flight and have another £2,000 to spend on this trip, because I'm sorry, £1,600 is a ridiculous amount of money for a flight. So we did Air China. That was £600, which I actually think is very good value for money, and had the journey not gone so wrong, I would have really recommended. And the thing is, what went wrong is not the airline's fault. So it's one of those that I'm like, oh yeah, it's annoying, and like it's annoying, like we're annoyed at the airline because like we were delayed, but it was a storm. Like, what did they want to do about it? They can't do anything about it. So basically, yeah, we flew from London to Shanghai, which was 11 hours. Then we had a 3-hour stopover in Shanghai, China, which is my first ever experience of China, which is so random. Like, I never thought I'd go to China, but here we are. And then as we were landing, basically they like couldn't land the plane. We had to circle around a little bit because of the weather. So we were a bit like, oh, and then some guy in front of us was showing his mate the size of the storm, and he was showing it to us, well, showing it to his mate, and we were being nosy and looking behind. And the size of the storm was the size of the UK. So that also just shows you how big China is, because yeah. So basically we got on the plane, and then we were sat on the tarmac for 3 hours waiting for the storm to subside. Then they eventually took us off, like to the point where they were serving lunch on the plane. Like they were handing out all the trays whilst we were still sat there, like at the gate. And then eventually they took us all off the plane. We sat on the tarmac for 7 hours. They weren't really telling us anything because they obviously didn't know when the storm was actually going to subside. And then eventually the storm subsided, and the flight was originally supposed to leave at 9:40 and we left at 7:40 p.m, which means that we missed all public transport leaving the airport to get back to Tokyo. So we ended up booking an Uber for £200. Honestly, you can't make this up. To be fair, Jake's never had anything like that on a flight, and I have actually had that. This will be my 3rd time where like my flight has been delayed over like 2 or 3 hours. But that is just the way it works, you know. You travel, that is the risk that you take, and I would take it a million times over if it meant that I got to travel the world. So although it's like annoying because we lost 9 hours here yesterday, and by the time we got to bed it was 2 a.m. So we've only had about, I'd say over the last 3 nights, or is it 2 nights? I don't know, but basically we've just not really slept much, but you know, that's fine. I will take it on the chin. Have you seen a jiffy? Okay. Now the smelly boys have gone. Joking. No, we are literally so excited to be here. We don't have forever here, which is kind of why the timings were frustrating, because I think in total we have like 11 nights or something. Basically, we would have loved to have had like 2-3 weeks to explore, but with Jake's holiday allowance, this was all that we could get out of the end of the year. And we were kind of like, okay, well, I would rather just take the trip and actually manage to do it, because we don't know what's going on next year. Like, we have weddings, we have like different things going on that are going to take up his holiday allowance. So we were like, okay, we're just gonna do it at the end of this year, and we're just gonna do it slightly quicker than we would like to, but it means that we still get to experience. So the plan this morning is to head straight to Shibuya Crossing. We are staying in Naria. No, that's the airport we went to. No, sorry. We are staying in Ginza, which looks like a lovely area. It's like near all the like bougie shops. Basically, it was difficult to choose where to stay, but I knew that I didn't want to stay in the thick of it. And although we are in the thick of it here, we're not in like the really touristy like areas. So that's how we landed on in here, basically. Okay, and just like that, I'm ready to rumble. I need to sort out the hair, but let's go and explore Tokyo. Woo!